Stop number 17 on the Castrol GTX Cup Series brings us to Kentucky Speedway at Sparta, Kentucky, as we are here for the running of the Quaker State 400. Stop number 17 on the series. Almost halfway home in season 14, and we got a great race going on points-wise. So let's get the starting lineup for today's event. On the pole, the number 6 Valvoline Ford at 203 miles an hour. It's Johnny Gardner on the pole for Roush Fenway Racing. He's looking for his first win of the season. Beside him, number 44, the Hot Wheels Dodge Charger. It'll be Mike Becker starting alongside. Row 2 is Kyle Matthews. He's the Mellow Yellow Chevrolet car number 42. And he'll be alongside the number 88 Quality Care Ford Credit Ford number 88 of Kyle Austin. He'll start alongside. Nick Pericles, the number 83 Wins Kmart Chevrolet, has the inside row number 3. Beside him, Ryan Richards, the winner at Bristol, the 25 Kodiak Chevrolet for Hendrick Motorsports. Then Sky Commons, number 12, the Rebestis Ford Fusion. He'll be alongside another Ford Fusion, the Citgo car 21 of John Arndt. He'll start alongside. Zed Weinstein, the number 70 Rumpel Furniture Toyota Camry, has the next row down. Beside him, the number 30 Pennzoil Toyota of Pocono winner Trey Campbell. Here comes the command to fire the engines here at Kentucky.
Drivers, start your engines.
Bang in the fire engines. So we guess have a racing here today at the mile-and-a-half track that is Kentucky Speedway. Now this track has a bit of a mystery groove to it in some ways. It's hard to pass on this racetrack as compared to the other mile-and-a-halves on the circuit we have gone to this season. Hopefully we're going for some great racing today, but I tell you what, I have a feeling this may be a bore. Kentucky traditionally is a bore fest in this series, so we'll see what happens here today. It's very hard to pass, kind of a one-lane track per se. You have to have you have to have a true draft help to try to pass on this racetrack. So let's see what happens there. The green flag waves are underway here at Kentucky. Johnny Gardner leading him down. Number 6 Valvoline Ford. And Kyle Matthews trying to make his way past Mike Becker for second place as they come down into turn number 1. Becker shoved to the back of the pack. Here comes Kyle Matthews, number 42, to the inside of Johnny Gardner. Matthews winner earlier this season at Rockingham. He's got the shove from the 83 of Nick Pericles. Who leads this lap of this race here? Will it be Gardner or Matthews? It's Gardner who led the lap. But then again, I tell you what, we've seen some strange races with these Gen 6 cars in some ways. So Michigan, take Michigan for instance, that track's usually a very competitive race at Michigan. Michigan's usually a very competitive race. But unfortunately, it was a bore festive event in some ways, except for some battles up in position anywhere but first. But nonetheless, Kentucky looks to be almost the same way in some ways. So Johnny Gardner still out in front here with Kyle Matthews in second position. Third, battling for third, Sky Commons in the 12 and the 83 of Nick Pericles to the inside there. Pericles outside, I should say, has third. Sky Commons in fourth. Kyle Austin with the 88 Quality Care Ford has the 5th position. 6th is the outside pole sitter Mike Becker, and about for 7th as Ryan Richards for the time being holds off Zed Weinstein. Weinstein runs 8th, the man who won last season's championship, currently last in the points. So quite a change in among seasons for Zed Weinstein. John Arndt has an impressive run so far, running in 9th position, 10th position at the moment, belonging to Austin Mongold, number 10 Copenhagen Toyota. Nathan Hudson running 11th. 12th is Dougie Shears. 13th Texas winner is Daniel Voiles. He's in 13th. 14th Trey Campbell, the winner at Pocono this season. Jesse Dalton running in 15th position, the Budweiser Ford Fusion. Battle for the 16th spot going on between Talladega winner Zach Flickinger and Joshua Collard in the 43. William Duncan in there in the 7 car. He's about to get passed by Mason Powers in the 8. Duncan last time I was clocked 18th in the order. Powers in 19th. 20th, Trent Dunham. 21st, right now, 3-time winner this season, Jessica Shelton. Won the last stop on the tour at Sonoma. '22nd right now, Gene Sanford, the other Bill Elliott car, the number 94 McDonald's Ford. And a gaggle of cars right there, Dylan Young, Matt McIntyre in the 18, Young in the 2. Winner at Riverside here, Cody Lamas in the 15. Right there behind, another 3-time winner, Pichu London in the 22. Stephanie Gardner in 26. Dylan Poteet in 31, one of the hometown heroes in this event. I thought we were slowing down for a caution flag, but apparently we're not, so... Oh, and we are slowing down, though. Pace car's out. Marty Johnson has crashed in 55. Johnny Gardner wins the race back to the start-finish line. Marty was running near the last position right now. Marty was running in 38th at this point right here, and let's see what happens through the third. Having come out turn number 4, he was on the outside of Keith Batson in 28. And Marty just drove Keith right into the wall, and then unfortunately for Marty, he was also the big loser in this whole deal too, as he crashed into the wall as he tried to shove Keith Batson on the wall. Batson, amazingly enough, comes out away with hardly any damage at all, and it's number 28 Texaco Haviland Ford. But for Marty Johnson, unfortunately, gets a bum rap from all this. But so restart happening for the first caution of the day, which is a very minor incident for a very minimal incident in some ways. But Johnny Gardner looking for his first win of the season. He'll lead him down. Nick Pericles in second. Third, Kyle Matthews. Fourth is Kyle Austin. Fifth is Sky Commons. Sixth, Ryan Richards. Seventh, Mike Becker. Eighth, said one time, is Rebecca Under Green again. Ninth, John Arndt. And 10th is Austin Mongold. And we'll look at John Arndt, 3 wide between he, Weinstein, and Becker. And Becker way at the track, losing positions right now as he is passed now, or about to get passed by Austin Mongold and Nathan Hudson, who's got the draft from Dougie Shears in 71. Shears was another winner we have forgot to mention. He won in Atlanta this season. And Nick Pericles will take the lead from Johnny Gardner now. But here comes Gardner diving inside. He says, wait a minute, I had that lead. I want it back, Nick. And Nick says, over my dead body, you will. And Kyle Matthews in 42 does not know who he wants to go with. But usually we say this track is very, very hard to pass when trying to battle for the lead. And I think you might see an example right here with Johnny Gardner in the 6th right here. But all he needs right now is a push from Kyle Matthews in the 42, and that's basically what all Gardner needs right now to try to challenge Pericles for the lead. So as of right now, it's a Ford sandwiched in between 2 Chevys in the top 3 spots, and then 2 more Fords back there in 4th and 5th. And we continue our run through the field right now as before the yellow flag came out, and several cars losing positions there. Jessica Shelton way up high, getting passed by Matt McIntyre and Cody Lummis, and about to get passed by the 31 of Dylan Poteet. Poteet along with another Kentuckian, Joshua Osborne, in the 99. 2 Kentuckians going at it. Poteet, though, living a little bit further west of Kentucky than is Osborne, obviously. Poteet from the western part of the state, Osborne from the eastern part of the state. But both of them having pretty subpar runs right now, though. Poteet was 28th the last time by Osborne, not doing too much worse, unfortunately. So to clock that this time by Poteet, trying to get by Pichu London. Poteet running 27th, Osborne in 28th. at the moment. Pichu, a 3-time winner, and all 3 of them coming on 1.5-mile tracks. He won at Las Vegas. He also won, I think, at... he also took California, and he also took the 600 at Charlotte and the All-Stars as well. So, Pichu took the Charlotte weekend, swept the All-Stars and the 600. And there's Poteet diving inside, trying for position now as we have a little battle up further up front. Gene Sanford trying to go inside of the 8 of Mason Powers. Already under 10 laps to go already at this moment. We have now 8 laps to go. There's where the rest of y'all are running right now. Trevor Reinhardt, Jesse Henry, Jonathan Zorlin, the Michigan winner. Dalton Day having another horrible run so far, unfortunately for him. Quentin Moore, Charles Sanford, and Seth Cole. And tailing along further back is Keith Batson. There's 7 laps to go. Nick Pericles, can he get his first win of the season? Well, we're about to find out here. Johnny Gardner trying to keep that from happening in that 6 car, as well as Kyle Matthews in 42. Maybe tailing along, waiting. Who knows with this bunch? Gardner diving inside, trying out to number 4. He shoves Pericles up the high side. Let's see what happens. Does Matthews give him the help? No, he does not. Gardner trying to do it all on his own. But that's the advantage that Matthews has got. That's the advantage that Pericles has got. Is that drafting help from Kyle Matthews, possibly. But Gardner may get some help of his own in the form of Kyle Austin. No, he does not, actually. Pericles doing a great job holding them all off. 5 laps to go right now. And now Gardner in danger of losing second to Kyle Matthews. Lap car up ahead with Keith Batson. They may catch him in his final 5 laps. I don't know. And if they catch him, who knows what happens? But it seems like here in Kentucky, once you get out front, though, it's pretty much all in the bag unless the yellow flag comes out. That's the bad part about this racetrack here, and I don't know how some of the others got Kentucky to have a competitive race with these cars. Three laps to go for Nick Pericles. The 83 wins Kmart Chevrolet. Matthews and Gardner trying their best to try to catch Nick. So they go down through the 4th turn now. 2 laps to go for Nick Pericles. Sky Commons running in 4th. Kyle Austin 5th. 6th is Ryan Richards. As they come down through the 1st and 2nd turns now. They're closing in a little bit on the 20 on the lap car of the 28 Keith Batson. Now what's going to happen when they get to him? And for Nick Pericles, he hopes that Batson moves out of the way because he does not want to blow it on the final lap. White flag waving. Pericles clear of him. Here comes Matthews to the inside for the number 1 spot. Does he get into turn number 1? No, he does not. Nick Pericles, car 83, the wins Kmart Chevrolet. Rounds turn number 4. Matthews making one last ditch effort, but it's not going to work. Nick Pericles wins the Quaker State 400 in Kentucky. 2nd, Kyle Matthews. 3rd, Johnny Gardner. 4th, Sky Commons. John Arndt comes home 5th. And apparently we had trouble on the final lap. Oh, and Dylan Young, number 2, has crashed on the final lap. Nick Pericles, the number 83 car, takes the win here today, and that happened just as they come around to get the white flag. And the spin happened up. It was Keith Batson. 28. The lap car that the Pericles had just cleared at the white flag. Sky Commons hit him. No question who did. Batson hard in the wall he goes. Watch him come right down. Mason Powers clips him in, and that caused a big melee right there coming out into turn number 2. Watch Mason Powers right there. He was on the outside of Jessica Shelton and Dylan Young. He crashes into Batson's car since him and the Shelton and Jessica Shelton crashes. Dylan Young crashes. Pichu London crashes. Shelton's able to get back underway, but Dylan Young and Pichu London, unfortunately, they get the worst end of this deal as well, as does Batson. I'm sure there's going to be several drivers PO'd at Keith Batson right now as far as this race is concerned, but so another boar fest at Kentucky Speedway happened here today. I hate to say that about my home track, but what it is. Nick Pericles had the only lead change of the day. He wins today at Kentucky Speedway. Second was Kyle Matthews. Third, Johnny Gardner. Fourth, Sky Commons. Fifth, John Arndt. Kyle Austin comes home 6th. Keaton to Zed Weinstein, a much needed 7th place run. 8th place was Ryan Richards. Austin Mongold comes home 9th. Mike Becker finishes 10th. 11th, Dougie Shears. 12th, Daniel Voles, Jesse Dalton, Nathan Hudson, Zach Flickinger. Excuse me. William Duncan, Trey Campbell, Trent Dunham, Joshua Collard, and Stephanie Gardner driving a sponsor's race car. The 26 Quaker State Chevrolet finishes in 20th position. Let's see where the rest of y'all finish here today. And unfortunately, Shelton was the only car that crashed out on that final lap. Though she will end up 34th. Mason Powers 35th, Dylan Young 36th, Pichu London, Keith Batson, Marty Johnson were the cars to finish down the bottom of the order. The ones that's crashed out of the race or whatever, but for Nick Pericles, the 83 wins Kmart Chevrolet, takes home the title here today at Kentucky. As we hit Daytona next for the Midsummer Classic, the Pepsi 400. And there's the runner. There's where everybody's at right now in the points chase. 53 points from 1st to 4th, with Zach Flickinger keeping on top by 35 over Daniel Voiles. Johnny Gardner 3rd, Jessica Shelton 4th, 5th Dougie Shears, 6th Kyle Matthews, William Duncan in 7th position, 8th Pichu London, 9th Cody Lamas, and Ryan Richards currently in 10th place in the points right now. On down to 20th place Keith Batson right now in the points chase. Then a little further down, Zed Weinstein had a good pick-me-up though, in with another top 10 finish, but unfortunately, still tailing along in last. So next section on the tour, Daytona National Speedway, the Pepsi 400. Don't miss it.